Let me play you the clip of Megan Rapinoe talking about the U.S. men's Olympic hockey team and, how she would have handled things if Kash Patel had shown up or Donald Trump had called. Play the clip.
I know what happens in those locker rooms.
Yeah, same.
People get brought in.
Oh, same.
Or
you have no say sometimes.
And all of a sudden,
it's happening.
You're in.
That's a great point.
You're in and you're like,
part of the truth.
Fuck. All of a sudden, you're shaking the hand of whoever. Someone that you've railed on because they're, doing inequality against you, whatever, for just to put it bluntly. The choice point, and I don't know exactly who made this. Is it someone at USA Hockey?
No, it came out. The GM of U.S. Hockey is also the GM of the Wild. And I read an article, and I guess what I wasn't clear on, he might be friends with Kash Patel or somebody. And I think that was the connecting point.
Okay. Fine. Whatever. The choice point is allowing yourself. And listen, I always say this, I can't believe how people have such a lack of self-preservation. But if you don't think you're in threat, then you're not going to preserve. So they obviously didn't think that having Kash Patel or having Trump on the phone was a threat. So they're cool with it. But that's why you don't put yourself in this position. Because to have the president of the United States on the phone and he's like, hurt. It's hard not to be like, hurt. You get yourself wrapped in this moment. Mm. So for me, the choice point is I would have never, as a captain or a leader on my team, I think you can say the same. I think that would have been clear to our staffs and to the larger organization and support staff. Those people would never be allowed in our locker room.
So that's Eminem and Sue Bird talking about the U.S. men's hockey team. And man, our audience is getting a real treat here. Steve Kim and JB at the same time. I don't know if I need to say another word. Gentlemen, what do you think of Slim Shady here and her take on the men's hockey team? Somebody fire first.
I don't understand, retard. So I didn't hear anything she said. I don't listen to the gays. I'm so over it. It's beyond me right now. It's two carpet munchers sitting there talking to each other about male sports. Just stop. The oxymoronic stuff that we're dealing with these broads is unbelievable. She wants to be a dude. She looks like a dude. She's talking to another dude about dudes. Stop. I'm so tired of this deal. When did we divide the country so bad that we don't even have the American backing, the support of America to go to the Oval Office or to the President of the United States? I don't remember any sport team denying, because of policy, going to the White House for America. Now it's because they hate this man so badly that they'll put that over America. It blows my mind. I'm so shocked. I don't hate nothing, Jason. I really don't like the word. I'm building up something, man, with these people. I'm telling you. It's ridiculous.
Steve?
I don't know how I top that, but I'll just say this. She might be the captain. Who the hell made her the boss? I mean, hey, Megaroo, let me just tell you something. I don't think Kash Patel or Donald Trump would want to come into that locker room. I don't think they would watch your games. I don't think they care enough. Let's have some perspective. I think they care about certain sports or certain teams. Yours ain't one of them.
It's so childish. It goes back. We're old enough. Remember cooties? Remember you got the cooties. Yeah. That's like if I talk to Kash Patel or I go to the Oval Office, I get the cooties, and I don't want to do that. It's childish. And this is, I hate to go right there with you, JB, but it's like, hey, these women need to talk less because they're exposing their stupidity. Just and I don't want to get cooties from Donald Trump. And if they came into our locker room, and you got to set up. It's the president of the United States. It's a high-profile head of the FBI, who's over in Milan and celebrating your victory. Why can't they be inclusive? They want everybody to include them, but they want to pick and choose who they get to exclude. It's a joke to me. JB?
I got a brother in the Air Force, obviously. He was a fighter pilot for many years. And I talked to him the other day. He was telling me some interesting things. First of all, the entire left side of what we used to call Democrats are now a demonic party for whatever reason. I have no idea. They're paid protesters. And he was breaking down this thing to me, and I was like, what? These people you just saw, Rapinoe and all these weirdos, they aren't necessarily completely Democrat or maybe far leftist or anything. What they are, they're in the waiting room to be paid next, to be the next paid protester. So they cannot go against being left out of that room, if that makes sense. It was actually a deep conversation, and I was like, made me think. I was like, interesting. So you got a bunch of paid protesters. Newsom's being uncovered every day out here in California. The fraud's going to quadruple what Minnesota had. And then you're going to find out that he paid over $100 million to paid protesters. We just found that out here in California. And I bet you that number is quadrupled here on the amount of people they pay to absolutely just have no clue what's going on in the world. But now all of a sudden they've got created signs, literally nicely made. And if you and I went to Kinko's and tried to make 20 by 20 signs, it would cost us $5,000. But everyone in LA has a sign now, ironically enough. And nobody can figure that this is just not normal. Like, nobody's figuring this out. Come on, man. These two right here are the next paid people to be that agitator. So I think that's what it is.
Let me give my interpretation or point of view on that, because you're right. But I can remember in 2017, I believe it was, I was living in Westwood, and I used to walk home from Century City, from the studios where we did the show. I would walk home. It's probably a 3-mile walk or whatever. But in 2017, I'm walking home, and on a pole, like a light pole or whatever, there was a poster or something.
One ad.
Yeah, one ad. And it was about being a protester. And if you could pull off the phone number, little piece of paper, and you could sign up or volunteer, and they were paying you to protest and call people and harass people and whatnot. But what's going on with Rapinoe and Sue Bird and Jamel Hill and a bunch of people, men, women, whatever, this waiting room that you're talking about, JB, is they pay you in speaking engagements. There's so much money flowing through these universities that Jamel Hill can get $10,000-$20,000 for speaking at some university, some honorarium, blah, blah, blah. And as long as she's on the right message, she can get those speaking fees. I'll tell you, years ago, I spoke at Harvard. I spoke at universities all over the country. Once they decided, like, oh, man, this guy's too conservative, now no college will pay me to come speak. Not even Ball State won't even, because I'm not on the right message. If you're on the right message and have a bit of a profile, Megan Rapinoe can go somewhere and charge $50,000 for speaking to college kids on some campus. They just got this endless amount of money running through their endowments and all that. And so, yes, you have to be on the right message to get those checks. Same thing, to a lesser degree, same thing happening on the conservative side in terms of this. Again, I'm trying not, I don't want to be too hyper controversial today, but it's like when you're TPUSA and Erica Kirk becomes the CEO, she gets to decide who gets to speak at TPUSA events and who gets a check for speaking at TPUSA events. And if you say the wrong things, like I do, that like, hey, she should be at home taking care of those kids, not running TPS out, I will not be getting invited or any paycheck.
Are they her kids?
Yeah, yes, they're her kids. But
so let me ask you this. Stephen A. Smith is in this waiting room.
Yes.
And what's going on with Stephen A. right now that's interesting, that there's a tussle between the two. The right side that's paying and the left side that's paying That's why you see Stephen A. go on his show and is complete conservative. And then when he goes back on Disney, he's complete woke. So there's a fight going on. He's going to end up taking the highest bidder, and that's what he'll end up being. Mark my words. And it was a crazy conversation I heard last night. That's why you see the back and forth between what he is. That's why I don't trust him ever. Of course, we don't. But at the same time, his personal show is conservative. He's straight Republican. Let's cut out the BS. And then on this side, he works for Disney. He goes back to being the woke joke clown that he is. So which one is it? Well, there's a tussle going on between what money he's going to accept and who has the highest bid. I'm just telling you, watch what happens, and don't believe it. Don't forget that George Soros was living in L.A. at the time you're talking in 2017 and was throwing all that stuff around. And I know that personally from a friend. That very interesting that you see those signs all over the place for the paid protesters and all that stuff. You had all this stuff going on way back then when they already probably knew that the pandemic was on its way. So I'm just telling you, it's really weird.
I think Stephen A's made his decision to run as a Democrat. I think he's accepted a bid. I think that Bob Iger and Disney leave him with no choice. Now he's trying to drive the price up, and so he'll, to me, pretend to be a Republican sometimes. But Stephen A mostly takes no position. I just saw something. Didn't I just see something yesterday or this morning where he said that I'm against abortion, but I'm personally against abortion, but I'm okay with abortion. He said both things. He took both sides. That on the abortion issue, he really takes no position. Because again, that's where the money is. If that's how you drive up the price, by not taking any actual position.